And welcome to EntrepreNINES. I'm John Wist.
And I'm Bonni Mace. We're two Enneagram 9s who took the big leap into the world of entrepreneurship at a similar time, and this podcast is a space where we're inviting you to laugh and learn with us as we work to build businesses with soul. Episode 15. And this is the first episode that we've had to redo our intro recording more than once.
3 times.
Probably because
there's other people in the room
us.
with us.
Sorry.
Our spouses are here.
Yeah, this is going to be a spouse episode.
The Lauren and Marc episode.
The Lauren and Marc episode.
Number one.
Yeah, because you'll definitely come back after this.
One of one. Marc Mace.
So the story goes like this. Lauren was all in right away, and Marc took 3 days to warm up to the idea.
I'm very particular about how I put myself out in public. Which he's actually a really normal guy, so I don't understand it.
It's type 5 in a nutshell.
He's a really normal guy. Oh gosh, this is going to be fun.
It's going to be fun. Also, we didn't really plan anything particularly in order, so this conversation is just going to happen.
It's going to be natural and probably a very good representation of who we are as friends, more so than anything else. So
yeah,
yeah,
and couples.
Yeah.
Okay, the questions are starting to come to me though. I could start.
Okay, but the goal is kind of to get like a spouse's perspective on being a spouse to a business owner.
An entrepreneur spouse.
Oh, wow!
Yay!
That's a new one. I don't think that
it's not going to work.
No, it's not going to catch on. So go ahead. You said you got questions.
Okay, well they need to get to know our spouses.
Oh yeah. Okay, that's good.
Okay, so start. 3 important things people should know about you right away.
Lauren.
Marc just pointed out Lauren.
That question is one of my least favorite.
Perfect.
Wow.
What should they know? I guess that I identify myself as a 6. After my friend Bonni said, take a look at that chapter sometime. Because I thought it was a 9.
Yeah. Yep.
And that I feel like I needed more preparation for this.
For that question.
So this morning I woke up and I had this I don't know, what did I call it? A growth. I already sent the family text about being uncomfortable is something I'm okay with, but being ill prepared for the discomfort, I am not.
You did send that this morning, and then I just threw you an unprepared question
for stretching me in the meaning of that today.
You're welcome.
Appreciate that. Yeah, this is a safe space.
It's true.
It is a very safe space. Right, Marc?
Is it still a safe space if it's being put out on the internet?
Yeah.
Totally.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
3 things you know about me. Interesting. Number 0 that Bonni already said was that I'm an Enneagram 5. So that was a free one that everyone got. I am, let's see. I'm a data scientist at a nonprofit focused on ending slavery worldwide.
International Justice Mission. I'll link them in the show notes.
Link in the show notes. Thanks. What else? I don't think I'm very interesting enough to have 2 more things people need to know about me.
That's not true.
What?
What
So maybe
drink,
we need to answer these questions.
What
for our
drink
spouses.
did you choose to bring down here?
I did make myself a sort of an Arnold Palmer of Zest Tea.
Wow.
Shout to Zest Tea in Baltimore.
Also linked in the show notes.
Yep, link that in the show notes.
Hashtag not sponsored.
Love some sponsorships there. And Wegmans Mango Lemonade.
Also not sponsored, but continue.
Also not sponsored, but a great grocery store.
Yeah.
And so,
all the money we spend there, they probably should sponsor us at some point.
Sponsor us.
Anyway.
Yeah.
That's so true.
But yeah, it was good. It was a great drink.
Mark loves baseball.
I do love baseball. I'm currently wearing my Baltimore Orioles shirt because they are at this time on Friday, September 16th, 4 games back in the wild card chase. So
Nice.
Go O's.
You leaned in for that. Go O's.
Go O's.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
What do you have to add to Lauren? Like, what are nice things you have to say about her, John?
Well, she
Also, this is totally safe and comfortable.
Oh, good.
My ears
so
are on.
glad. I'm so glad. I would say that Lauren is a great mom. We have 3 kids. Most of you know that by now. She's also a great lactation consultant if you want to know what she does for her job. And let's see. I think Lauren likes puzzles. That's probably been mentioned before.
Physical jigsaw puzzles.
Yes. Yeah. Well, also other Sudoku and Wordle and things like that are very. And she likes historical fiction, mostly of the romance variety.
It's been a long time, actually.
Yeah.
Time for another book.
Yeah. Yeah. Anything? What else is there? What else about you?
I feel as though those are great.
It's a variety, but
it is 3.
It is 3. Was it 3?
4.
Oh yeah, more than 3.
I didn't even count.
4. Yeah.
He was just going. It was natural. It was
Just
a flow.
rolling it off the top of my head.
It was a flow.
Okay. I feel like we were talking about like things you like to do, kind of maybe. So went that direction.
Yes.
You like to eat sushi too. That's
We
I
all do.
Food. I think this is a
I
general
do.
foodie crowd.
Yeah.
We
Some
do
of
all
us
like
love
food.
sushi more than others.
It's true.
That's so true.
I stare at Bonni.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is.
I've recently thought maybe we need a budget line specifically for that, so I know how often I get it.
I think that's a great idea.
And my Enneagram 5ness says, I mean, can't we just do that at home and save the money and make our own sushi? That sounds great.
Yeah.
Yes. Master class and a date night.
I would teach it.
So this is how I stress 6 about this. Here we go. This is how we have conversations
okay.
as a family, just like this, what's happening right now. I get stressed out about the meat being weird. Like I trust a restaurant to not food poison me more than I trust me to not food poison me. So I wouldn't want to make my own raw sushi.
Okay.
Particularly
Because of raw fish.
with raw fish.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not that, like, I'm not gross, but
yeah.
Like you guys were upstairs. It's not that clean.
I mean, I feel like your fish skills are totally fine. I have seen them at work.
Your fish
Maybe
skills.
not raw fish.
Yeah. I've never
Straight to
seen raw
my
fish.
mouth. But yeah, I trust your fish skills.
That's what concerns me. So that's a typical family rabbit trail for you.
Yeah.
We could just stick to cooked sushi.
That isn't her favorite kind.
Right.
Sacrifices have to be made. Sorry.
So Mark really likes budgets is what we're learning.
Yeah.
I'm going to circle back to Mark. This is not a cheaper endeavor for you. And so just let her get sushi line on the budget.
We got the nori paper. We have the rice. We just need that cool little roller thing to make it all, put it all together.
I had seaweed chips lately. They are terrible.
Oh.
So nori.
No seaweed chips for you
Let's
in the
wear
show
that.
notes, guys.
Ugh.
Ugh.
So I want to make sure that I don't have that kind of nori.
We can work on that.
It's the same thing, right? I'm not being.
I honestly don't know. I'd have to go research it.
I think so.
Like 5.
But it's okay. They always want you guys to leave a voicemail. So if you care about that, you can leave them a voicemail.
Oh, do you know how she knows that, Mark? Because she listens to the podcast.
Okay, so here's what every listener of this podcast should know. I don't listen to this podcast. There are many reasons. One of which is I used to listen to podcasts when I had an hour plus commute every day. But now that I work from home most of the time, I don't have that commute. So my commute has been replaced by two little boys being like, Dad, 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 Dad. So that doesn't happen. So I don't really listen to any podcasts anymore. Also, I hang out with John and Lauren, with John, Lauren, and Bonni enough to where
you don't want to hear our voices.
Like you get it.
Yeah. I feel like I got the gist of what y'all are gonna talk about. Like I get it in everyday life. So
Okay.
that's okay.
You
So-
did listen to Nikki.
No, I listened to the one the primer to Nikki.
Okay.
He
on
listened
Sevens.
to it because we were in the car on the way to go out with his brother and sister. And I
Yes.
had to do the show notes because it was releasing the next day. And Summer really
So
got
you
me
were
off
forced.
the groove. Yeah. I had it like playing through my
That's one way
phone.
to put it. Yes, I was forced.
Behind the scenes.
Mhm.
Small plug for
Editing.
my job where we fight forced labor. Just small plug.
Are we
I don't know how that was related.
I was going to say, are we just trying to see how many times we can like get IJM into the conversation? Was that your goal here? Are you like, this is not
They've
sponsored?
sent him.
Which is a fine goal, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's fine. It's just,
That was a little forced.
yeah.
Forced.
Forced.
Like forced labor,
labor.
really. Like slaves. Okay.
Oh, gosh. Bonnie, let's ask some questions.
Okay. Save us.
Go ahead. You said you had some questions. in your-
Yeah. I'm drawing a blank from Mark's forced slave labor
gosh.
thing. But anyway, here's what it was. I wanted to explain what it was like for you to meet your spouse. Because we've occasionally talked about like, oh, here's how we met. Like John and I have both mentioned little bits of that, but obviously like our listeners haven't heard that because we've both been together for a very long time.
Yeah.
Mhm.
How long, Bonnie?
I just figured this out upstairs. We're about to hit 17.
17. Half of our lives.
More than half.
More than half.
More than half.
Almost.
So there you go. I mean, that's not how long we've been married. That's how long we've been together.
Right.
We've been married
Right.
for 11,
Right.
but around each other for
Can
17.
you hear my legs moving on this leather chair?
No. No, I can't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
But I'm glad you're being self-conscious about it.
Bloopers.
Okay. John was the new guy in 7th grade.
Mhm.
7th grade.
7th grade.
And he was a very quiet, wide-eyed,
There they are, the wide eyes.
wide-eyed guy. And then maybe he professed his interest in me through someone else because he didn't talk.
Because it was 7th grade.
And
Fair.
also you didn't
Awkward
talk.
times.
Some 7th graders talk to the people they like to. And
Good for them.
And then actually, I think my response was, no, I don't want to be his girlfriend. He will never talk to me again. And so then I made it a particular hobby of mine to make John Wist talk to me. And he, by like 9th grade, 10th grade, was like, he is such a nice guy. He's going to make a great husband one day for someone. And I was not looking to him for dateability at that point. And then at an award ceremony, I sat next to him and I thought he was highly attractive suddenly.
Just like that, you
And
glowed
How
up.
did he
I
smell?
kid you not. It was a miracle. And that triggered a transition in my romantic interests away from a bad boy towards John Wist.
So,
Wholesome.
Yeah.
Wholesome
John
John.
was not the bad boy.
no.
No.
Right, okay.
No. Yeah.
No. So we had a similar reaction to each other in the same moment.
You?
Yeah.
Same
So
award ceremony. I love this. Light
So-
bulbs happening.
Revelation.
yeah, so it was kind of like a,
That moment and somewhere around 4 weeks postpartum from with our first kid are the two moments in my life that I have been the most attracted to John Wist. Like there was some
everything else has
strong
been a
hormonal.
valley.
This is a family podcast.
I
Lauren.
did not say everything else was valley. Everything else was more
Yeah. You're just really feeling it in those moments.
Yes.
Yeah. It's okay. I'm fine with that.
I'm sure you are.
So, yeah.
Yeah. And we started dating. That was our junior year that we had them.
John's a
Family
long haul.
podcast. For the record, by the way, I did leave out some details that I usually reveal. Like, hey, Julie, can you? And we would like relay girl messages back and forth to each other through John. John was like our telephone person. Yeah.
Because this is before texting.
Right. Yeah. In class.
In class, yeah.
You know, the desks that have like the slide in all one piece. Yeah.
Classic.
I was in between you and, in one particular class, I was very much the telephone. Yeah.
So anyways, I left out details for like.
That's an EntrepreNINES After Dark.
Children, it's okay.
It's a spin-off.
After Dark. the one where Marc and Lauren talk about inappropriate things.
Marc and Lauren?
Well, you talk one kind
With
of inappropriate.
Okay.
And then Marc has the other side.
Medical perspective.
Right.
Yeah.
Marc.
I just have a dark mind sometimes.
I was going to say the inappropriate.
Again,
kind of leads in.
Fellow listeners, I remind you, he is a normal guy.
And quirky.
Yeah.
There you go.
Marc,
your turn. Did you forget?
What the question was? What was my first impression of you?
No. Tell the story of how we got together.
So we met one Sunday at a church that I attended irregularly, not regularly.
Twas a miracle he was there.
Twas a miracle.
Irregularly.
Yeah. And Bonni and her family were visiting. They just moved to the area not too long ago and were visiting this church. And I met her and her sister. And then was like, great, peace out. And then we ran into each other in the halls of high school, and Bonni started badgering me with questions of why I wasn't at church the next Sunday and the Sunday after that.
Badgering you?
Yeah, I was going to say, do I know this, Bonni? Is there a reference to current Bonni life? Badgering?
Oh, no, it's just my word for like hounding me about
I was
it.
being persistent.
Persistent.
That's all.
I hear your dog, not a child.
My dog?
Yes, I think your dog is whining right now.
Oh, that's probably true. She's left out of the party.
Oh my gosh.
She has FOMO.
She wants to sit on the couch with you.
Yeah.
Oh.
She's not invited. Anyway.
Sorry. Badgering. Bonni Badger.
Yes. Side note, my dog is the greatest. Anyway, yeah. So Bonni really hounded me about why I wasn't at church the previous Sunday. And I looked at her like she had 3 heads, because why are you annoying me with these questions? Because it wasn't something I was really interested in doing very much. But yeah, so at the same time, I don't think I knew this at the time, but because Bonni had just moved into the area, basically, even though she was a full year behind me, she had enough, I guess, English from her freshman year, which is interesting because you went to public school in New Orleans.
I was in GT.
Oh, smart girl. That's why I dated you. Anyway, so she ended up in English with a lot of my friends that I hung out with. And so when I would go hang out with my friends, Bonni would be there. And I thought, great, here's this girl who's always asking me why I'm not at church. It's perfect. But I did start going to church again and chatting with her. And then after a while of being friends, I thought, oh, this girl, I think I might like this girl. And this is after a story we will leave out and maybe put in EntrepreNINES After Dark. The story of Bonni being told that she was next for me to date because I was a bit of a
Mark was very forward. You leaned into your 4-wing hard in high school is what I'll say.
I was a Casanova.
I'm sorry.
Turned up the romance.
Were you about to call yourself a Casanova?
I was about to call myself Casanova. Yeah. Yeah. Casanova. That is not a Casanova. Wannabe Casanova. That's probably the most accurate thing. But yeah, so we were friends for, I don't know, a good while. Like half the year. And then I started asking Bonni if she wanted to go on a date with me. And she said, no, I don't want to date until after high school. And I said, we'll see about that. And I just kept.
Lauren's giving me the best face.
Then the badgering got turned around, and I came to her every day and asked her if she wanted to go on a date, and she kept saying no until I finally convinced her. Okay, what if we just go get dinner as friends? Which she said yes, so she knows what she was getting into.
I can totally see.
Yeah.
Little babies.
Yeah.
No.
What? Oh.
Like just she knows our baby.
Yeah.
She's talking about the baby versions of us.
Yeah, I can.
Yeah.
But he's like, come to church, please.
No.
And Mark says, no, I don't need to do that, but I do need to date you next.
That's a good summary.
That's the 1 sentence summary. Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. So, yeah. And then we started dating not too long into my senior year.
Mm-hmm.
And that was it.
That was it. That's the story she wrote.
That is a dog.
Oh, that might be Amelia, actually.
Right? That sounds not
that one's
quite.
Amelia.
Just to make sure everyone's clear, we just confused a baby's whining for a dog. So will this episode be edited?
Yeah, it seems like it.
Well, we also have to tell people that Mike's just died. And so now Bonni and Mark and Lauren and I are sitting very close to each other to try to speak into the same microphone.
I mean, if you want me closer, you can just say you want me closer. I think I'm closer.
I do. You're just going to have to talk
Family
right there.
Podcast.
Okay. You need me to talk right here? Does that sound good?
That's great. Thank you.
This is also pretty accurate for how it is to be friends with one another, is to be interrupted by children often.
Yes.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
So, unfortunately. We did have both toddlers down, and Amelia's adjusting to her new one nap lifestyle.
So you know what I thought of at some point as far as work life goes? I am the only one who regularly leaves the house to go to work. And I feel like that's not something that maybe the listeners are aware of. And of the 4 of us.
That's true.
The reason why Mark has Arnold Palmer skills is because he has his kitchen right downstairs.
It's true.
It's true.
Which also means I also have my stash of Oreos very easily accessible as well. So
pandemic pounds were a real thing.
Hence my kettlebell.
More things you should know about each other. We're just learning them. They come out.
Your kettlebell. Okay, so on the topic of work, life, balance, maybe, I don't know.
Reality.
Mark and Lauren, what is it like to live with someone who has started a business or is in a
budding entrepreneur,
infancy phases of entrepreneurship?
Do you have anything to add there, Mark? Not yet. You're good.
You can start. Yeah.
I would say that it has been good. I was aware that it was going to take some time for you to feel comfortable, or maybe I actually was projecting that. But I feel like it's been comfortable enough. My whole boundary setting progress, I feel like was started much earlier than this. Like in high school, I know I told you, I will never miss out on life so that you can sit and watch a football game for 4 hours. And you need to know that, because if I'm going to be in your life forever, that is something you need to be very clear about.
And we don't really watch football in our house, so.
No, but I think you would have at some point.
What about Latin football?
What about hockey?
English football?
So he does happen to have these little moments that I catch him looking at Formula One or catching up on some football from not the US. And that is very interesting you care about that. Right. Okay. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
And hockey.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
But that's much more of a family. Our family is starting to enjoy that more.
Correct.
As a unit.
Correct.
Yeah.
This went from entrepreneurship to sports watching very quickly.
Boundaries is where I was going.
Okay.
I feel like I was very clear about what I anticipated for our family life when the boundaries are endless, when it's in your house, right? Or when you're making your own life. So I feel like that was something that had been prepared in process for a while. So that's good. And I'm glad that was established much earlier. Because that would have been one of my fears, I think, is that it was like bleeding, like his business was bleeding into our whole lives. Or rather we were bleeding out, maybe is the proper visual.
Wow. Bleeding out.
Lauren is a nurse.
I was sitting here thinking about how bleeding is now a 2-episode in a row streak theme. So
it's true. Yeah. It has come up quite a bit.
Anyway.
We could do some analysis on your themes.
No.
Do you want that?
No.
Okay.
Answer the question.
I would listen to your podcast then. The question. Oh yeah. So what's it like to live with a budding entrepreneur?
That's how I put it.
Yeah. I mean, it has been. I think it's been different on multiple fronts. One, you chose to do this in the midst of a pandemic when I was working from home, and so you went from being on staff and being gone a lot. Mm-hmm. Which definitely eased up at the beginning of the pandemic, but then near the end, like you were ramping back in. But then we're now just both here all the time, which is great. Less great when summer happens and our 5 now 6-year-old is also here all the time. But no, it's been enjoyable. The time that we've gotten to spend more as a family together, and seeing you try different things and see what works and what doesn't. I think when you started this adventure, you had in your mind how quickly you could ramp up and do certain things like, group coaching or individual coaching or something.
I was very wrong.
You're very wrong. Yeah. But to see you like flip and adapt and say, okay, that didn't work. Let's see what else we can do instead. I think it's only going to help you as you continue to grow your business, is to figure out what works and what doesn't and how to change it up.
Pat your little knee. That was so nice.
Thanks. It's part of my job as a data scientist at the International Justice Mission.
Wait, your job is to encourage people, or
no? Let's try different things and see what works and what doesn't. Analyze the data.
Experiment.
Yeah,
we did talk about experimenting. In our last
and
episode.
how scientists don't feel bad about themselves when they fail at something.
Oh, that's I mean, I feel bad about it sometimes, I will say,
but not when like the data fails your hypothesis. Just, that's what I mean.
You spend time working on a project, and then all the data starts to tell you different things. You're like, well, dang, I got to start this back from square one. That's a bummer, guys.
It's a bummer. But you don't feel like a bad data scientist?
No.
Okay, that was my point.
I mean, maybe like 4 times a day I feel that. But that's probably just me. I think it's just the imposter syndrome.
It's just because as Lauren continues to remind everyone, you're a normal human.
You're a normal human. He's not a weird guy.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well, how do we want to pull this together now with like a screechy pterodactyl daughter upstairs and the fact that the big ones are coming, the big children are here almost. They're going to be here soon.
They are.
They're coming.
I mean, I also want to recognize the privilege that our family has had and your family has had, the consistent income of one person, so that another person could
be very inconsistent,
have some flexibility with and like healthcare benefits along with like a consistent salary. And I feel like jobs that there is some stability for, or I do think that is probably not every entrepreneur's life, and I think that would be really scary for some people, and they wouldn't do it. So
yeah, we've definitely talked about that before.
Yeah,
of just like this like experiment we get to do is definitely a spot of privilege and also teamwork, because I think there are also marriages that probably would not work so well in like this kind of scenario. And I don't know, maybe we can wrap it this way. I was talking to Mark the other day about how some people are just like genuinely miserable in their marriages, and that's just not the reality for us or for you guys either. They're like, we're just good friends and also spouses. We're not just like people who have, I don't know how other people choose to get married, that they then end up miserable.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm sorry if that's your reality. That probably sounded a little like harsh, but I feel sorry for you, and grateful that that's not our reality. So yeah, thanks for being good friends and spouses and entrepreneurial support and sugar daddy / sugar mamas.
I know my role.
I know my role. How long have you known that role, Mark?
Since day one.
Yeah.
When I got the STEM degree and someone got an art degree, I was like, I see where this is going.
I see where this is
going. We just didn't know that creatives were going to be so valuable now.
So true.
But not graphic designers, which happens to be what my art. John is in the lucrative art field. I am now a program called Canva.
That's true.
You are a program called Canva.
Right. Like it's my entire degree.
All graphic design people everywhere.
Me
are now
and Canva. Yeah, we graduated at the same time, and one of us did much better than the other.
Make sure you add Canva to the show notes.
And
see if we can get a sponsorship.
Oh, gosh.
I won't pay for them.
What were you gonna say?
I mean, yeah. Also, thanks to my parents, maybe. I don't know. They're the ones that really instilled, daughters, you will have a life and be able to live it independently of anyone else.
Thanks.
So also thanks.
Yeah.
Mom, Dad, mostly Mom.
AKA, John, you're not needed, but you are loved and desired and wanted. So
you
thank
are
you.
wanted.
Yeah.
You are not needed.
Yeah,
yes, that is exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I do have this distinct memory of my high school math teacher talking about marriage, which is weird. Why is my high school math teacher talking about marriage? But
I feel like
he dropped the wisdom.
To be great
he was a
role model.
Yeah, he was always dropping wisdom bombs.
Just a normal guy.
But yeah, he said one day he's like just he talked about how, when you get married, like you don't need to be married to that person, but you want to be married to that person.
Yeah.
Oh, so we have arrived. Here we are.
You
made it. Fun fact, Mark dressed up like that math teacher for Halloween one year.
I did. It was
nice.
Great.
That's so funny.
There's a good picture of that somewhere.
Good picture. Plaid, short sleeve shirt, khakis, glasses.
Like while you were still in the school that he taught at. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
No.
We have a picture together.
I'll put it in the show notes.
Thank you. Scott Killam.
These show notes are going to be so epic.
It's probably on my Facebook, actually.
Probably.
Anyway.
Bonni, John, did we accomplish your goal?
We only got part the way there, but it's okay. We'll have you back.
You know what?
In my
Stretch
opinion.
this little baby. She's fine.
No, she's screeching in a room right next to another baby. Like she needs to be.
Are fine about it.
I think okay.
Yeah.
He's still out.
Yeah, I had to check on him, but
My child sleeps through anything, guys.
I know.
Well, now
ours doesn't.
It didn't used to be that way.
So this is what we hear at 5:15 some mornings.
Yeah, our listeners can't hear it, but I would say if you have heard an animated pterodactyl
saying the word dada.
That is what she sounds like. Yeah, it's good. Was there anything else you wanted to in this episode?
No, I'm good. I think it would be great to, just every once in a while have them back and get some more perspective, spousal perspective.
This was good because I do think it was hard to prepare because I wasn't exactly sure what the dynamic would be, even though we hang out a lot.
Yeah.
So now we know.
This is everything you hoped for?
It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's everything Lauren hoped for.
She said, guys, dreams coming true today when she came in the house. So I was feeling bad for withholding this for so long from you. But anyway.
Oh, I mean, I would never have said that it was a dream of mine. Maybe because I didn't realize it, or maybe because that felt like too much promotion of my dream.
Oh, gotcha. It just needed to happen without your spurring. Got it.
Yeah.
Dreams come true, guys. Here we go. This is the part that when Mark does hear it, he makes fun of us for because he thinks we can't end a show episode well. A show episode?
Well, it's just an episode.
It's an episode of the show.
It is a show with episodes.
That's not right.
But it's true. We are still lacking here, Mark. Do you want to try?
You need to land the plane.
Yeah.
Land the plane.
Can you land the plane for us?
Land the plane, Marc Mace.
We're putting you on the spot, but you're a good ad-libber.
Am I?
No, not really, but I'm just trying to watch it happen.
I feel like this is where I say something like, listeners, if you are an entrepreneur, you need either to have the dreams or you need to be the one who can make the dreams come true for someone else. So find your other piece.
Aw.
Sure.
That's so nice. Okay, land the plane, Mark.
And if you're a entrepreneur, having that person in your corner to say, hey, you can do this even when you are unsure of your own abilities.
I mean, I didn't doubt Bonni or John for a minute. And I feel like they doubted themselves so much.
Me neither. No, not at all.
But Mark, listen to me. I am loyal as well as risk averse. And so I didn't doubt it for a minute. They're great. They're awesome. Don't listen to your numbers.
I mean, I think that's why your next episode, whichever one you do and whoever you talk to, maybe just yourselves, will be great because you two are amazing at this podcast and your careers.
So, Lauren, you can come back.
I'm not sure what's happening with Mark. It feels like maybe he's trying to be genuine, but it's coming up.
Yeah. Mark, you can come back too. But I think maybe Bonni and I will land the plane.
Yeah, because you didn't.
I wasn't trying to land the plane. Was I trying to land the plane?
No. I had asked Mark to land the plane.
And he said, believe in yourselves, 9, even when I don't.
Good night.
Anyway, you can find us on the internet. We're there all over. Our socials and websites are in the show notes. And that's where we are. Can I plug my rhythms class?
Yeah, of course.
That's coming up. I'm doing a Creating Rhythms That Make Room for Spiritual Growth class. And it's pay what you can. And it's open for signups until October 2nd. So you should do it.
Because it's great. We've also done it as couples. Well, I'm sorry.
John and Lauren have done it.
We've done it.
I have also not. to stay on theme.
Stay on theme.
Lauren and I have done it, and it's a great class. And it is, I think, very helpful in establishing a lot of things that we even talk about during this podcast.
Like boundaries.
Boundaries, values, all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Establishing lives with soul.
True.
Listen to you.
Love it.
Is that a tagline from your class?
No, that's from the podcast that you listened to. Anyway.
Mark, this might be the time where you
awkward.
Just don't want to say anything else. No, also leave us a rating and review so that other people can find us.
Thanks for listening and for hanging on for this wild ride of conversation. We'll see you next time.
See ya.
Bye.